talk to you about a team that's very dear to my heart, I've liked ever since 2002. It happens to be the Philadelphia Eagles, and there's a few points that you might not have known about them. They originally did not start out as the Philadelphia Eagles. They started out as the Frankfurt Yellow Jackets in Frankfurt, Pennsylvania, right outside Philadelphia. In May of 1899, at a town hall meeting, they met and talked about it, and then came up with the name, the Frankfurt Yellow Jackets. Was when they were known back then as the Frankfurt Athletic Association. Now, due to the popularity of the team, they were invited to join the NFL in 1924, and 2 years later, they won the NFL championship, which becomes the precursor to the Super Bowl. However, a few hard times came by and the Great Depression hit. In 1931, the group had to disband. They composed a record of 69, 45, and 14. Now, when the team disbanded, two former Yellow Jackets players, Bert Ball and Bud Red, decided, hey, we should probably bring another team back here. So 2 years later, in 1933, they decided to bring the football team back to Philadelphia when the NFL awarded them ownership of the Yellow Jackets name. So when FDR's National Recovery Act came out, they found inspiration in his insignia, and called the team the Philadelphia Eagles. Now you can see here, down number 5 here, that was the old colors of the Yellow Jackets, and you can tell they have the Wolverine winged helmet, which gave them inspiration. And they changed their colors from powder blue and white, or yellow, to Kelly green and white. Some of the logos and uniforms, this is still about the history. This is the current brand today, and you can see over here in the left-hand or right-hand corner, the different logos they used out for each year. In 1996, the new owner, Jeffrey Lurie, decided to change the colors to midnight green and silver. And here is the Kelly green and white uniforms and a helmet. And you can see the consistency of the helmets throughout the years where they started to use the wing pattern amongst the helmets. Ever since 1995, they changed the colors, but they never gotten rid of the design. My third point actually, is rivalries. Every team has a rival. And the Dallas Cowboys is probably one of the most bitter rivalries in the NFL with the Eagles. In 1989, the two games that were played during the regular season were called the Bounty Bowls because the Dallas Cowboys coach Jimmy Johnson at the time decided to accuse Eagles players of putting bounties on his players like Troy Aikman, Emmitt Smith, Michael Irvin, and no Eagles player was found guilty. This also is a bitter rivalry because it usually determines who's going to win the NFC East or make it into the playoffs. Like in 2008, a game I watched and witnessed in person, where the Eagles crushed the Cowboys 44-6. And also, this past season, where they played for the division title in 2013. Another rivalry is the Giants rivalry. A game I also saw was the 2010 Miracle in the Meadowlands, the new Meadowlands. There's been 3, one by Herm Edwards, another one by Brian Westbrook, and the third one was when the Eagles were down 31-10 with 7 minutes left and came back to win that game, 38-10, or 38-31. A third rivalry, and probably one of the most controversial one, is also the Redskins rivalry. When they played on a Monday night game in 1990, an infamous body bag game was the coined term for the game, where Eagles players knocked out 9 Redskins players plus 2 quarterbacks. One of the Eagles players at the end of the game asked if they needed any more body bags, which coined the name for the game. Now, here's the history of the Eagles. They have been a winning tradition, ever since they started. In the pre-Super Bowl era, they won 3 NFL championships, one in 48, 49, and 1960, which this past season just celebrated its 50th year. They also appeared in the 47 game, but lost that one. In the post-AFL-NFL merger, they were placed in the National Football Conference, which was then the NFL when they joined with the American Football League. They were placed in the East Division along with their 3 rivals. They recently just won the NFC East this past season, making it their number 9. They've also won 2 NFC championships, one in 2004 and one in 1980. 2 Super Bowl appearances go along with those NFC championships. However, they lost both of them. Ron Jaworski led the Eagles into the 1980 Super Bowl in New Orleans. However, they lost that one pretty badly. But in 2005, when the Eagles played Tom Brady and the New England Patriots with a 13-3 record, but it's still their best to this day, they lost that one too. I had to use this picture. It's a potato chip with an Eagles visor, and I had to use it. This is about current status of the team today. Their current head coach is Chip Kelly, who just completed his first year. He's the 6th coach ever to win the division in his first year. He was at Oregon for 6, 2 as an OC, and 4 as a head coach, where he reached 4 BCS bowl games and won 2 of them. Their current stadium is Lincoln Financial Field. The stadium before it was called the Vet, or the Veterans Stadium, which they served the Philadelphia Phillies. There used to be a section of the stadium of the Vet where they would hold court cases whenever Eagles fans got rowdy, and it was known as Eagles Court. Some famous players. People think that Mike Ditka is mostly associated with the Chicago Bears. Nope, he was also an Eagle when he played. Some of my favorite numbers that are retired are Donovan McNabb, Steve Van Buren, Reggie White, and Brian Dawkins. The Eagles, usually you associate fight songs with college, but the Eagles are one of the few teams in the NFL that have a fight song. This is an actual copy of the original fight song that I was able to find online. It used to be called the Eagles Victory Song or Fight Eagles Fight. It was found in programs in the 1960s and disbanded use in the late 1980s. It came back in the '98 season, but due to the team being so bad, they decided to hold it off until the following year. And here are the lyrics to the song. I don't want to sing it, to be honest, and I also have a video of it if I'm allowed to play it or not. That's fine. For the last part of my speech, a few interesting facts. I actually saw the current starting quarterback of the Philadelphia Eagles, Nick Foles, playing college when they played Toledo in 2010, and they crushed us 41-2. But it's interesting to note that I was able to see the future of the Eagles. A more interesting fact is the Eagles have never lost to the current Houston Texans or the New York Jets. They are 9-0 against the Jets and 3-0 against the Texans. Also, Herschel Walker, who played for the Eagles, participated in the Winter Olympics in '92 and got 7th in bobsledding. My final fun facts about the Eagles is that John Madden, who was drafted by the Eagles, never played it down for him because he got injured in training camp. And there's countless movies about the Eagles, but the one I found in particular was the one Mark Wahlberg starred in 2006 Invincible, where he was just a bartender at the age of 30, and he tried out for the Philadelphia Eagles in an open tryout and made the team. And that is my speech about the Philadelphia Eagles. I'd like to thank you for listening, and have a good day. I also have a Donovan McNabb jersey that I couldn't find. So this is all my Eagles merchandise I have today. I also have the 2 tickets from the 2008 game and the 2010 game, but since I've moved since then, I have no clue where they went.
Cool, thank you. All right, Mr. JP. Floor, the screen, everything is yours. Nice shirt, Dad. Where'd we get that at?